All right, the demonstration here is basically body weight rows using rings, and I'm going to show you a pretty modified variation. There's a bunch of ways to make this very difficult, and there's a bunch of ways to make this easier. So I'm going to show you something a little bit in between, a little bit easier, difficult enough, but not too hard. So I've got the rings relatively low right here, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to have my feet on the floor. I'm going to bend my knees and hinge from the knees, and everything from the knees to my shoulders is going to be in line and toward an arch. So when you do this, you don't want to hinge from the hips at all. Keep your glutes engaged, keep your hips pressed forward, because basically you're going to be pulling with the arms and pulling the rings toward your chest. Now your body can be at whatever angle you need it to be, and the higher an angle you are, the easier this will be, which we'll probably need to use if you're just starting out. The more horizontal you get, the harder it gets, and you can even take it to the point where your feet go up higher and your head goes down even lower, so you have more of a slant. I don't recommend starting there unless you've been doing this kind of thing forever, in which case you're probably not checking out this video. So to start this out, I've got the rings at this level, and you have to play around to find out where it works best for you. Pull the rings back, so you got to lean back. Be sure you can pull from the straps that they're secured this way, and they're not going to move any further forward. Walk your feet forward, and then you want to bring yourself into position where you can come down, straight arms, and this is where you're going to be lifting from. So I'm going to keep my knees bent, keep my glutes engaged, and the hips pressed high. Now to come into this row, I'm just going to pull up and bring the elbows into my sides. I'm trying to pull the rings toward my chest, and then I'm going to come all the way down. Now that was a little bit easier than I probably wanted it to be, so I'm going to walk my feet further forward and make it a little bit harder. And then again, just pulling up, come back down and take it slow on the way down. Bring it up, and then come back down. All right, so that's using that row with two hands. Now, there's another way to do this to make this a little bit more individuated, especially if there's a difference between the strength of your arms from one side to the next. And this is one arm at a time, so you're just going to use one ring. Now, for this, it's the same kind of thing, same engagement with the glutes, so hips still pressed forward, you got that full extension of your body. You're probably not going to do it at quite as severe an angle. So from here, I'm just going to feel this out with two hands and find the basic position. And now this would be relatively easy for me with two hands. I'm going to go ahead and take it on one. So I'm going to use my right hand, which means I'm going to walk my feet over to the right side just so I'm a little bit more centered. And I'm going to keep my left arm at my side and keep it tense. And this is going to help, keep in mind. So just keep that hand wedged into a fist. And then just pull. Try to keep your chest squared. Pull that ring toward your chest. And then take it slow on the way back down until the arm's straight. And just up and then back down again. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. So over to the left hand. I'm going to walk this over to the side, make sure that strap isn't underneath my shoe, and then right arm at my side. Now again from here, pulling up, and then coming back down. Pull up, keep your chest squared, and bring it back down. And again, if you want to make this harder, you can bring the rings down lower, elevate your feet. You can do it at more just straight up and down, but you have to, there's a lot of ways to adjust from the ring, so a lot of ways to play around. So work it from the point where you can actually get just enough reps done, and you can build up with this over time.